Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm showing you everything's been added, changed, and fixed in Minecraft 1.90.4 pre-release 1. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.20 update videos in the future. And so this video is a live stream at the same time as well, which is why there's no editing in it. But we'll go through all the features and changes very quickly as well. So this is the first pre-release for Minecraft 1.19.4, which will include some of the new 1.90.4 features, as well as the experimental 1.20 features, which you activate through the Experiments tab in the Create New World screen. And so, an important note here for this pre-release is that you won't be able to open any worlds from 23W07A. So if you've created experimental 1.20 worlds in 23W07A, you won't be able to open them, sadly, in this pre-release. And so before we go into the changes for 1.20, let's go through the changes in 1.19.4. And so one of these is to do with the Enchantment Glint. And the Enchantment Glint for items in the inventory has made more visible, apparently. So we can go over to the Enchanted books, because they already have the Enchantment Glint. And this is what it now looks like. This has just slightly been tweaked. And we previously also had the Glint Strength option, which is in the video settings or in the accessibility settings, I believe. So Glint Strength is right in here, of course. There it is. It says that the default value of the Glint Strength setting has been reduced to 75%, but for me here it is on 100% by default. So it should be on 75 by default, like this. And you can increase the bit using this slider, or decrease it or set it to off all the way like this. Which means it looks something like this. If you look up our enchanted books, this is what they look like right now. There's no enchantment glint on them at all. Then next, there's actually quite a big change to the potions, for which we have to go back into our video settings and turn back on our glint strength. Because they've actually removed the enchantment glint from potions. So these used to have enchantment glints all the time, and now they've removed them to make it more clear which color the potions are, to make them more recognizable, which I think is a nice change, and it does make them easier to differentiate. They've also added a notification system for realms to tell you about important information about your realm. Alright. Then there are some accessibility changes as well. So they've added a built-in resource pack that enhances the contrast of UI elements. If we go into our settings and into resource packs, we should see that down here there's a high contrast resource pack now. This will be here by default in 1.19.4, and you can activate it like this and then press done. And so this is what it looks like. It's quite a big change. And so the resource pack can be enabled in the accessibility settings screener manually in the resource pack screen. And it's only available in the menus for now, but they'll probably also be adding it to the in-game UIs. So it's currently only here in the menu and not here in, for example, the inventory. They'll add that here later. But for now, you can see that this is what all of your settings will look like. And this, for example, is our FOV slider. And here we go into video settings. This all looks something like this. It's all just high contrast. Also, there's the glint speed effect here as well, which we can change. But yeah, I suppose, well, we can leave it on for here for now. Let's also go back into our main menu, because there's actually a change to the Create New World screen as well, which was also updated in 1.19.4. So let's go back to our main menu, which now also looks slightly different with the new resource pack. So we can go into single player and then try to create a new world. Of course, this is with the new resource pack. So this is what it looks like with the new resource pack. Let's also turn off our new resource pack and then see what it looks like. So we'll go back and we'll go into options and then into the videos resource packs and then turn this off. Because most people will, of course, use it without this high contrast resource pack. And so this is what it looks like without the high contrast resource packs. Also, Miles, thank you for the $2. That's amazing. So this is what it now looks like. There's more clear tabs up here, which wasn't that clear in the previous iteration. And the tabs are also aligned to the center of the screen. And the content has been changed. The content has been aligned to the top of the screen. So you can see everything is now bumped up a little bit to the top of the screen instead of centered on the screen. So that is what this new Create World screen now looks like. Alright, then let's go back into the game. Or into our world, actually. Because there's also some technical changes. The resource pack version is now 13. And they've also changed a couple of the tags, which you can read through yourself if you want to. Then there is now also a new subcommand for the execute command. So /execute. There's lots of options here. A new one is called positioned as or positioned over. And this is used for finding positions on top of a height map. And change the height of the execution position to be on top of the given height map. And so height maps record the highest position in a column of blocks according to some criteria. And so the different criteria you have here is motion blocking, which is any motion blocking material. So it ignores, for example, flowers or grass, which you can see behind us. There's motion blocking no leaves, which is exclude leaves. There's the ocean floor, which is any non-fluid motion blocking material. So it would tell it, or it would detect the top block that is not a liquid. And then there is the world surface, which is any non-air block. And if you want to know how to use that, I suppose you can read through the patch notes. I'll leave linked in the description down below. But now let's get into the changes to the experimental features for 1.20. So you can still go into the update here, or into 1.20 in this pre-release. And there's 3 changes here as well for 1.20. The first of which has to do with the brush item. So previously the brush crafting recipe was 2 sticks and 3 string. This has now been changed such that you actually require copper, the copper ingot, but also a feather and a stick. Like this. And we can put those together in our crafting table. Something like this to create our brush. So the bottom is a stick, then a copper ingot, and then a feather to create your brush. Which also makes more sense with how the brush looks like, because there's sort of a copper type element in the center of that brush, which represents this beautiful copper ingot. And the feather also makes sense for the brush part. So that's the updated brush crafting recipe. Then there's also a change to the sniffer spawn egg. So there's this right here. You might have noticed it immediately, but they have just slightly tweaked the colors of this sniffer spawn egg, probably to better represent the colors on the actual sniffer, which you can see here. The green actually lines up quite nicely. And there's the red color as well, so they've just changed that slightly. And then they've also added the recipes for the decorated pot along with the shards to the crafting table. So we grab our shards and we grab our bricks, because that's for the empty part of the decorated pots. We can see here, there is the decorated pot recipe right there for just using bricks. Just like this. To create your decorated pot. Alright, and then next up, there is also quite a few bug fixes in this pre-release. We'll see a lot of bug fixes in the coming few pre-releases. Also, pre-releases don't always release on Wednesdays, which means I'll just try to upload a video on them as soon as I can. And so some of these bug fixes just have to do with the latest snapshots. So just small things that were broken that will now be fixed again as well. Probably the most interesting here is that potions are now distinguishable by color because they don't have the enchantment glint anymore. And ghost block hoppers don't appear to be summoned. Will no longer appear if summoned by a command block to a powered location. Alright. And then there's quite a few bug fixes related to different mobs as well, such as goats and camels. But you can read through them yourself as well, because I'll leave the patch notes linked in the description down below. So anyway, there we go. That is pretty much all the additions, changes, and features in Minecraft Snapshot, or well, no, Minecraft 1.90.4 Pre-Release 1. If you like this video, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.20 videos in the future. I want to thank my tier 3 member, the Smikkelaar. Thank you for becoming a tier 3 member. But anyway, there we go. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope to see you all in the next one. So until then, bye bye.